What's up, YouTube? Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to my site, The Art of Dating. I'm your host, Yashika Foster. I like to refer to myself as the artist of dating because I believe dating is an art and everybody has their form of what they perceive as being beautiful art. Now, if this is your first time joining me, be sure to go ahead and turn on your notifications and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. So, with that being said, if this is your first time joining me, I want to introduce myself properly. I am Yashika Foster. I like to call myself the artist of dating, and I empower successful women to date through self-discovery while finding the love of their life and the tools to balance it all. So, let's get started with the video. Today we are talking about what's holding you back when dating when you're past the age of 40. Now, I feel that there are several reasons that hold people back from dating at the age of 40. But today I'm going to just talk about my top three. The top three things that I believe holds a person back when dating when they are over the age of 40. Insecurities. Now, people will say that I'm not insecure, I'm very confident in who I am, I believe this about myself, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to dating, we are insecure to a certain degree. We're insecure about maybe we don't look the same as we did before we reached the age of 40. Maybe our bodies are not built the same. Maybe you feel that because of there being competition out there with other people that you don't really have what it got, what you need in order to date. So you feel insecure. You start comparing yourself to other people. You start saying, well, maybe this is the reason and that is the reason. And then before you know it, you're feeling all kind of ways. You're feeling all kind of insecurities that you didn't previously have. And so sometimes we have to really be honest about it. And if there are some things about ourselves that we are having problems with, and it's causing us to not date the way that we should, then we got to figure out, or you have to figure out what it is that you need to do so that you can be secure when you go out here and date. Because here's the thing, people pick up on vibes. People pick up on if you're not secure in yourself. People pick up on if you're walking around with your head held down instead of holding your head up and your shoulders back. People pick up on that. And believe it or not, people love people who are secure. Yes, people love people who are secure. So if this is you and you're being honest about it, then only you can fix this, right? Only you can fix this. Two, that's my lack certainty. And what I mean by that is very simple. We have gone through so much. By the time we reach the age of 40 and 45, we have gone through so much in terms of relationships to sometimes we are like, we like the certainty that anything is going to happen different than what's previously happened. And so because of this, automatically you may go out in the dating world with this, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't even know why I'm out here attitude. And so therefore, when you do date someone or you go out on a date and things don't happen the way that you think they're supposed to happen, you automatically put them in that box and say, you know what, I knew this wasn't going to be any good. I knew this wasn't going to be any good. I knew this wasn't going to be any good.
When you do date someone,
I knew that this wasn't going to go anywhere. But in actuality, you got to think about this for a minute, right? If you go into anything with a negative attitude, then of course you're going to have a negative outcome. I will say that again.
If you go into anything with a negative attitude, of course you're going to have a negative outcome.
So dating, which I say is an art, is no different. So when you go out here and you're looking at everything from the perspective of a person who is certainty, a person who is confident, and you go out here with a positive attitude and you date, then you can see the good in it. You can see that, you know what, this relationship or this situation that I had over here with this person, this date, may not turn out the way I wanted to, but I'm not going to put everybody in the same category as that person. Maybe just that person I didn't click. Maybe there was something there, or maybe that person was just the wrong person for me. So I'm going to leave that situation over there. So now I'm going to go out on another date. I'm going to pick somebody else based on what I'm understanding about myself, what I'm understanding about what I like, what I love, what I want, and what I desire, right? So then when you go on the second date or the third date with a different person, each time you learn a little bit more about yourself, so that when you go into the dating world, you are certain that you've been doing the work. You are certain that you will find somebody, and you are very positive about that experience. So, number 3, misalign with what you want. Yes. And I did these in reverse order, and I believe that being misaligned with what you want should be your number 1. So in actuality, we're going to name this number 1, we're going to put lack of certainty number 2, and we're going to put insecurities as number 3, right? Because I believe that, you know what, I might need to even switch it around. But I will say that when it comes to misaligned with what you want, this one is huge. Because it goes back to what I tell people about knowing who you are, what you want, what you need, and what you desire. And if you don't have those things aligned with self, then when you go out here and date, you're going to be dating people trying to figure out some things that maybe you should have taken the time out to figure out along the way before you started dating, right? And what I mean by that is once we hit 45 or 40, we've been through enough to say, you know what? I know for a fact that I don't want this type of person, or I know for a fact that I need this type of person in my life. So although it's a constant rotation of figuring out who you are, it's constant because as we get older, we want something bigger. We want something different. And I won't say bigger, but different. When I was 27, I bought my first home. It was about 1,700 square feet, right? I built it from the ground up, but I was 27 with 1 child, okay? Now that I'm a 49-year-old woman, for me, at this point in my life, maybe that home, my first home that I bought at 27, doesn't work for me anymore at 49. Not to say that it's not a good home, not to say that I can't make it into a house and a home for my family and I. It's just that my family has expanded, right? And then on top of that, the junk that I've accumulated has expanded. And so I need more space in certain areas. And so because of that, I have to have a bigger house. You see what I'm saying here? You see where I'm going with this? So when we're younger, there are certain things that we want. And then as we get older, we realize that those things that we wanted for us as a younger person does not work for us as an older person. And so for you, those are some of the things that you have to figure out before you really get back into the swing of dating, right? That's just like if you are a person of, you make a certain income. And I hate to talk about money, but it's just the way it is in this world, right? You make a certain income. You may feel that a person that maybe make, per hour or wage or whatever, as opposed to a salary, doesn't work for your lifestyle anymore. And that's okay, because you get to decide for yourself. You don't have to fit or force something to fit into your lifestyle that doesn't work. Because when you do that, you start having resentment. You start having all kind of issues about, well, why did I do this? Here I am doing. So you can't go backwards again in that aspect. So in other words, if you've learned those things as a younger person, don't go into this part of your life, this mid part of your life, with those same things. If there are some things that don't work for you, then don't settle. And I hate to use that word, but that's exactly what happens. We tend to settle for the sake of saying that we have someone when we know that that person is not the person that we want, need, or desire. Okay? So in terms of misaligning with what you want, you have to be aligned. And how you do that is, for some people, it's self-care. For some people, it's finding your foundation, whether it be religion or whatever. Someone else, it may be a combination of that plus counseling, plus coaching, plus whatever it is you think you need in order to better yourself, right? Because then you can see the world differently. You can see the dating world differently. You don't go into it with these glasses on that needs to be clean, right? Because that's what happens when we've gone through life and so many things has happened to us. When we are getting into other situations, sometimes we have these glasses on because it's our lens of life. And we have these glasses on that's foggy, that got fingerprints on it, that's smeared, and we can't really see properly. But if we clean them off, or if we do the work, we start to see things a little bit more clear, right? So then you start to understand what exactly you want, and you start to get aligned with what exactly you need in your life. And it sounds like I want to say it's just that simple. I know it's not that simple. Trust me, I wasn't always here. I didn't always get to this point. I've had some tough lessons, so I get it. Trust me, I fight with learning and discovering who I am every day. I make mistakes every day. I fall short every day. But the thing is that I've learned that anything that I do or I don't do, or some things that I want, I have to go after those things, right? And for me to go after those things, there are some things in my life that I have to do, and there are some things in my life that I don't need to do. And so for me, I know what plays into empowering me or helping me to improve. And so when there are certain things that come my way in life that doesn't help me, I don't engage in those things, or should I say, I try not to. And when I do, I realize that it's no good to come out of it. And so for me, I have to stay focused. I have to stay focused, and I would invite you to do the same. If being in a relationship is something that you really want, if being in a relationship is something you really need and desire, then you have to do the work, right? You have to do the work. So to sum up, I want to go in reverse order than the way I've said these things. So I feel that the number one would be not being aligned with what you want. Number two would be definitely lack of certainty. And then number three would be insecurities. And so these are the things that really hold people back from dating when they hit 40. And so if this is you, I need to hear from you. If this video has helped you, I need to hear from you. If you feel that this video could help somebody else, please invite them to this channel and share this video to them, right? And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.